What is going on, people? Welcome back. We've got a special show tonight, but Wes, what are we doing here? Where's our guest, brother?
We're sitting here with thumbs secured up our asses because we're waiting on our buddy Jason, who is having some technical difficulties. And
we had him in here. We had him, and then it froze and he fell out. So we wanted to get the stream moving along, and we'll give you all the info we have, and hopefully Jason can pop back in at some point while we're doing this. But how is everybody doing tonight? It's a pretty interesting show. It's something different. Jason reached out to us and wanted to talk about something special. I guess he's a big-time collector. You guys may have seen him at conventions with some of his collection. And one of the biggest pieces of his collection that he's really known for is, I guess he owns the original Nubbins Sawyer prop that was made by Tom Savini for Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah. I mean, evidently, I don't know how many Nubbins exist. Is this the Nubbins? Are there multiple Nubbins? Because this is the only one that was touring. This is the Nub Club Nubbins convention scene. But yeah, definitely excited. Hopefully we can get him on here. But you know, I know how shitty internet is. I've had plenty of issues over the last few weeks, so he may be up in the sticks like me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where he's located at, but I mean, as far as I know, it is the Nubbins because it is currently on Heritage Auction. If you look it up, the auction is underway, and it says Tom Savini created Nubbins screen used cadaver prop from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. So as far as what it seems like on that site, as far as all the information he's given us, this is the actual screen used Nubbins. Now, I don't know where he got it. That was a question that we were really dying to ask. I don't know why he's getting rid of it. That's another question that we're hoping to be able to ask him. But I think it's just a real cool, piece in history that somebody out there can own. And as of right now, I think there's 2 days left in this auction. And to me, the price is kind of a steal right now for that life-size, hitchhiker.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, $8,000. Yes, that's a big chunk of money. But how much money has Jason made over the years with the Nub Club, Nubbins on tour at these conventions? I don't know if he charged for photo ops with Nubbins. I would guess so. I mean, this is an investment, right? This is a lot cheaper than buying a big condo on the beach and trying to rent it out. I mean, so Sean Clark, somebody out there, one of the big money ballers and shot callers, this could be buy of the century for you, because it's still $8,000, the opening bid on Heritage Auctions, ha.com. It's easy to check out. I've gotten posters and stuff there over the years. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get him on. This is an interesting story. He sent plenty of photos over the years. You know, our buddy Rob Zombie, golly, met Nubbins. And this was Rob Zombie from probably 20 years ago, at least. This was an old photo. So I'm very curious how long he has possessed Nubbins and how that all came to be.
I mean, yeah, you would think that this is going to go to a pretty big super fan. I'm thinking in my head, thinking like, I think Sean Clark is someone who I would think about, as far as owning something like this. But then you think about it too, and you're like, well, I don't know if these people collect, but like, this would be a killer item for Bill Moseley to have, right? Like he could have this. He could, I don't know if he wants to bring it to conventions. I'm sure he probably has handlers that would take care of that. What about Ed Neal? Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are people that it's like, that would be cool if they owned this prop, but who knows at this day if they even give a shit about any of this stuff. I don't know. But, those are a couple names that I'm kind of thinking, this is a prime opportunity.
Man. I mean, Bill Moseley does these conventions anyway. So he could say, hey, here's my fee, but if you want Nubbins, it's going to be a little bit more. I can bring the Nubster with me.
I mean, imagine a photo op with him and Nubbins, like in you, right? Like Nubbins sitting in a chair or him holding him or whatever. Like that's just something I feel like would be on the table for anybody, even like Ed Neal. I mean, he could pull it off, probably doing something as well with this thing. Cause sometimes you go to these conventions and his line isn't as big as you would think it would be nowadays, but you add something like this to the mix and that could be a little bit of a game changer for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's definitely big opportunity for this. And, even Tom Savini, does he have another one? Would he want it back? Like, it's to me, it's wild. And I was hoping to get some of these answers tonight. But yeah, I think
we'll see. I don't know.
I think it'll probably go around 15K. I kind of feel like that seems about right, to me, but, yeah, man, if you want to get into the chat, Wes, and kind of just see who's in the house, and then hopefully Jason can get his way on here.
Sure. So we have Crash 517. Always enjoy the streams. He says that we should get a cut from the sale. I agree. I think,
I'm down.
If we can help the auction go up a little bit. I mean, come on, 0.5% at least. You can buy some Happy Meals or something. I don't know. Foz Rotten says that Texas Chainsaw 2 is his favorite. Gus Amaretti says, hey, Garrett.
What's up?
Joe Brandonopoulos. Don't know much about the history. Don't know much biology. Foz Rotten. There should be some Iron Butterfly playing while we are waiting. Yes. I wish we could play, like, I don't know. I don't enjoy getting flagged for and YouTube is pretty lenient anymore with these songs and everything, but you'll get like a content match or something like that. And I just don't like that. So I try to pick stuff that's crazy obscure, that's not content matchable. And I think we've got Jason on the line here. Let's see if we can add him in. I'm not certain it's going to work, but we will try. But I will go through the chat, continuing on here. Ken Carlson is in the house too. Adrian James, Creeker 1766, the Paintsville Hottie. She's looking for you, Garrett. CPT Killer Wood. That's a new name. I've never heard that one before. Melody from My Killer Podcasts. The 4K Tent Revival, Stuntman Mark. The Man 0776. Not to be confused with the Man 0777. I get those two mixed up. Carlos. Hey, man. Movie Junkie John. J Muse. Uh-oh. We got some action, boss.
Oh yeah, I see some movement over there.
Scratch Bueno, Subjective Perspective Collective, Jack Frost. Afro Whale. He says, my penis has been having technical issues since 1950. That's too much information. I don't need to know that. Hey, isn't that Devin Graham? So welcome, everyone, guys. We are getting some sort of movement on here. Jason, can you hear me at all?
Hello.
Hello.
Hit that like button, people in the chat, while you're waiting.
Yeah, hit the
Suspense
like
is
button.
killing me.
Yeah. We'll eventually get something going here. Texas HXCX 1955 with Blithful. The Mayor, Matt, Tales from the Tape.
No, we lost it.
Wet Movie 1. The Twisted Trucker, brother. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have much faith in. I think the technical issues may get the best of us tonight, boys.
Yeah, unfortunately.
What do you think, Garrett?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think like what could be the issue. I've been always fine with StreamYard. I don't know if maybe if you have a different program or whatever. I don't know. If you message him, see if I don't know if he's on his computer, but what if he tries to just pull it from his phone and just put his phone?
I think he is using a phone.
Oh, he is using a phone. Okay.
Yes. I want to send him the link again. He said to resend him the link, and then
maybe one of the two guys that was there has a better phone. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
The mayor says Uncle Rad strikes again. He won't. Hey, listen. It could be.
No, he was originally well, Uncle Bill at least was originally going to join us on here, but his kids were misbehaving and he had to really lay the law down on them tonight. And it's just not a happy scene in Cracker Bottom.
He also was saying earlier, he's actually, you'd be surprised, he's kind of afraid of Nubbins. So he, that's why he didn't, I think he kind of chickened out at the last second. He just didn't know if Nubbins was going to be on screen. He was nervous, but it is what it is. We've all got our things. Lefty.
Roundhouse, baby. Kick the like button. And,
Dirk says there's some bad storms going on nationwide. So that could be it. But while we're getting through, do you have the footage? Like, Jason sent us some stuff. Like, he was actually on the news with Nubbins. And I think we have the footage. Can we play it now?
Yeah, this is national news from Inside Edition. This is a little clip that is online. That's when they were trying to take the corpse of Nubbins through the airport. So here you go, boys.
Never mind flying under the radar. Even this guy had to be screened by the TSA on the security line. He was dying to get on a flight out of Atlanta and apparently didn't even have to take off his shoes. This realistic-looking corpse is actually a prop from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
What happened was true.
It was forced to go through the conveyor belt and be x-rayed, all while passengers online waiting seemed intrigued by the peculiar item. The TSA is calling this the strangest thing to go past a checkpoint. It's unclear why the prop was traveling. The good news is it can't hog the armrest of corpse. For InsideEdition.com, I'm Lee Shep.
That is wild, man. Imagine seeing him pushing him around the airport in a wheelchair and then scanning him through security. It's
that would be the nightmare about traveling with something like that, though. I mean, that's the only downside. I guess you could, like, Nubbins could have his own seat on the airplane.
I mean, that's the thing. What do you do with him? I mean, he probably had to. What are you just you're gonna take him and fold him in a million pieces and throw him in the I doubt it, right? Like, he's gonna almost have to sit. Where are you gonna put him?
I would think so. Yeah. I mean,
He's sitting there.
You could get like a giant piece of luggage maybe and stuff him in there and fold him up. I mean, I don't know. It may be too. Nubbins may be a little bit too delicate to do that, though. I don't know.
I would think so. Yeah. I mean, that, and the thing is too, it's like, you got to think how old that is, right?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So, 1986 is when that movie came out. That makes it close to 40 years old. It's like 36 years old, something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, you see some of these masks. I mean, look at the Halloween original mask that Sean Clark got. I mean, that thing was from what, like 70s? And I mean, it was basically flaking apart. And this Nubbins, at least by the pictures and stuff, looks pretty damn good for something that old that's been kind of thrown around, put through a movie, stored and God knows where, it's wild. I mean, even when you look at Savini's stuff, he has like a shed in his backyard with all of his props in it. I mean, I hope to God that thing is like controlled, right? Like how much could go wrong in like weather,
I would think it would be. I mean, I think the big difference though with the Captain Kirk mask versus Nubbins is Captain Kirk, those masks back in the day, like very, very, very cheaply made. The latex was crazy thin and stuff like that. Whereas, what do they even make Nubbins with? Is Nubbins latex or is it some kind of other material? It doesn't look like it's latex.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. Matt made a funny joke in here. He said they should have put a mask on him and just told everybody he had COVID. Imagine that. Like, what the heck's wrong with that guy?
That would be killer.
He's all like mangled. Jack Frost there's a storm around that area. That sucks. It's unfortunate.
Okay. Silent Night, Deadly Night, though. People were excited about it. They came out Tuesday. $11.99 on Amazon, which is crazy.
That's
insane.
3 movies.
Yeah, for 3 movies on 3 discs too, right? It's each movie has
each one has its own disc.
Really
yep.
Cool.
And the quality is really good. I watched 3 and 5, and they both look really, really good. Especially 5. 5 looks really nice. Best it's ever looked, no question. I actually just filmed a full Silent Night, Deadly Night, my complete physical media collection video that will probably go up tomorrow or the next day. But I talk about all the different editions that I have. This is definitely the way to get these for sure, no doubt. There's Sean Clark.
The lines.
Why don't you just send Sean a link? You want Sean? Do you want to come in? Are you around?
The Myers mask you're referring to isn't mine. It's the original. Yeah, I was talking about the Kirk mask, I think. The one that he did the video on last year or year before last, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Where the guy kept the Kirk mask in like in his closet for like 30 years or whatever. And yeah, those things go for crazy money. I wouldn't even want to think about how much that damn thing was.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
wild.
But I wouldn't be shocked if Sean had the Nubbins on his watch list on Heritage Auctions. I could totally see him picking that up.
Yeah, if he's sitting around, I would love to have him to come in here. Maybe we can get him to put a bid in right now.
Live bid, boss, because it's kind of out of our price range. I would love to fucking like throw down $8,000 on fucking Nubbins so my wife would fucking murder me. It would be over.
Well, what you do is you make a deal with Sean. You say, listen, I'm going to put 8,000 down and for just for 10 minutes. And then you put like 8,001 down just so I can get my ass from getting chewed out. But I'll look cool in the process for like a second. Oh, I lost it for $1.
Sean says Nubbins is foam latex, which usually rots quicker than regular rubber latex. Wow. So, I mean, it may be thicker latex, possibly. I don't know. I have no idea.
But yeah, Sean, in the chat, are you interested in that at all? Is that something that you'd want? Is it too big? I mean, right now for $8,000, I don't know if it's going to stay there, but I mean, it seems like a pretty good deal for something like that. But again, you would know more than I would as far as if that is
I mean, for someone like Sean too, that does the convention things. I mean, hell, that's like an investment, really. If you want to, go on tour with Nubbins, I mean, people will pay to get photos For sure, you could recreate the Breakfast Club photo with Nubbins.
that would be so worth it. Like a bunch of friends and then him like sitting there. Like, I mean, that's wild for sure. You could.
I gotta think it's going to go for way more than $8,000. Though. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems like, just judging by some of the stuff that I've seen, how high it's went and all that.
Jack Frost said, send him the link. Do you have his info? He said Jason and Tony are coming this way. I don't know if they live near him and they're going to come use his internet.
I have no idea. Jack Frost.
Yeah.
I don't know how I can send the link on YouTube without a million people popping in here. Or well,
hold on. Why don't you do it? No. Why don't Jack Frost? Do you have Instagram? Let me know, and then I can send you the link through there.
He may be coming this way.
Oh, well, let us know if he's there, I guess.
Yeah, we'll stick around for at least the next half hour or so to see if we can ask at least a few questions.
Sean says send him a link.
All right. I've got Sean's, let's see here, bolts.
Lepke says sending the link to random people. Well, did you see the last roundtable we did? That's what happens when you just send the link out.
I texted to you. You change your phone number, dude. I texted Eli Roth the other day too, by the way. I never did get a response. I don't know if he ever actually looked at it. But yeah, it was an iPhone, it was an iMessage, so
maybe you should just text Eli right now and say, hey, I was just curious if you wanted to buy Nubbins. Here's the link.
you could easily afford Nubbins, or at least you could get your buddy Quentin to buy it for you, you know.
But you know what, though? You made a real good point. If owning Nubbins, like even like someone like Sean Clark or anybody that hits the convention scene quite a bit, the hardest thing is traveling with him. But imagine just sitting him down and basically just charging people to do the Breakfast Club pose with him. Nobody even has to touch him. He just lays there. Then everybody just stands behind him. I mean, I think that would be money. I would love to do that with a group of friends. No, we're not talking about you at movie. You were actually the guest.
I mean,
of honor,
yeah, there's a few photo ops that I would think would be cool, and that would definitely be cool.
Oh man, I would love that. If you could prop him up in that position and then everybody just kind of sit behind him and do like a pose and have like a backdrop, that would be money. That would be killer. I would do it.
Okay, so I am sending Tony. He is with Jason. I'm sending him a link as well. So we're going to have some people in here, hopefully, to discuss Nubbins.
And then Big Crack Rock says turn it into a tax write-off. I mean, and then Alpha Brown says he belongs in a museum. Yeah, it's a cool item, and there's so much that I think you could do with it. I'm really curious to talk to Jason to kind of find out where he got it and why he's getting rid of it.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting story because he's had it a long time, judging by some of those photos. Jack Frost is messaging me as well, and we'll send the link to him too.
It's gonna be a party.
We're gonna have some live bidding on your boys. The man himself. What's going on, Sean?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
No, not bad. Just I was I was jumping out of the shower when I started watching you guys, and you're like, jump in. I'm like, oh, okay, let me put some clothes on. I usually like to watch this show a little, you know.
You got the hair down quick though, huh? Damn.
Dude, this shit takes like 60 seconds.
Actually,
I know Tony Moran said
you
it took me
posting
a half
like
hour, but you know.
I remember you posted a video basically saying like, this is how long it takes me to do my hair. And I think you just posted a video once doing that, didn't you?
Yeah, that was in response to Tony talking shit, saying that it took me a half hour and I was a little girl. You know, that I did my hair like a little girl and I spent a half hour on it. I'm like, bro, literally, I'm not joking, 2 minutes.
Once you have a system, though, it's good to go, right? Like you have a system and you can get it done quick, you know?
Yeah. I know the people are fascinated about my hair, but you know. There he is.
Well, there we are. Jesus Lord.
Yes.
Good to see you, Sean.
Hey, what's up, Jason?
You got it.
Oh, nothing much. Just I got to throw this Z Fold 4 away. I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on down here, but we're here. So,
coming in loud and clear, and right now it looks great.
StreamYard is pretty. Yeah, looks good.
Oh, bottom's too low. No. Sorry, the volume's kind of low. Let me here try to pull up.
Can you hear us all right, Jay?
Yeah, barely. Having to use this phone, the volume's not as loud, but we just have to speak up.
I don't know if you were watching when you guys were trying to get on, but we showed the clip, the news clip. We kind of talked a little bit about the auction itself, but I think the big question that I had for you was, how did you attain this, and how long have you had it?
Oh God. Okay, it was started back when I started going to Mad Monster Party in Charlotte, and I, see Caroline Williams, other stars from the movie, and saw Tom Savini, and was like, hey, you got anything left from the movie? And he's like, yeah, I got a few things. And I was like, you got Nubbins? He's like, yeah. And then he's like, just hit me up, let me know what you think. And so email him an offer or whatever. He's like, close but no cigar. See him at another convention, throw something else out. And we just go back and forth, email or at different cons, throughout the year. And finally a number stuck and went up to Pittsburgh and had a once in a lifetime, experience, getting to go to his house, check out everything. I know Sean's been there, and it's pretty awesome. So, and had to bring cash only.
Now, what year was this?
2016.
How long ago was this?
2016.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, 2016. And
Some
it was
of those
actually
photos
like
were pretty damn old. That's why I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah, it was actually 2 weeks after my son was born, so kind of like it's like my only open window to do that. So, but it was cool. And then I went back up the next year and bought the Yuppie head and the chop top plate from him. So got to go there twice. And then they had a Steel City Con going on at the same time, which is pretty cool, and got to meet Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and then people from Weird Science. So it was kind of a cool bonus, at the same time.
That's awesome.
Oh, one second, we're gonna try to hook up a Bluetooth to this.
Okay. I'm loving that Funhouse head back there, Sean.
So, Sean, is this something that you eye on the Heritage Auctions page since you're?
Yeah.
It could definitely display good with the chainsaw.
It would. And it's funny. I think you did reach out to me, didn't you, Jason? Like you saying you were thinking of selling it, but had you told me you were going this far, I think we probably wouldn't be talking right now. It'd be done. But
yeah, for sure. Kind of like when I did the Pet Cemetery bust, mechanical bust with you, the Fred Gwynn one. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool. I was like, at least, like a few things I've had, I've owned it, got pictures with it, got to have time with it, like the Dracula cape from Monster Squad, some slugs from Night of the Creek, SeaWorld shirt, which was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So things pass through, other people get to enjoy it, at least I had time with it,
Are you going to part with that saw back there?
That might be one of the last things. But yeah, me and Sean are brother in saws, Yeah.
I was just going to ask that because I remember Sean was saying that he had one of two, I think, right? And I'm putting two and two together now that you're the other one.
The other one, yeah.
That's awesome, man.
I saw Sean at one Mad Monster Party, and he was like, God, if I had the job, then that I have now, I would have won this. But like, I think it was like a couple weeks later, boom, it pops up in the upcoming auction. And it's like, you ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, it was trippy, man. Because I went to the auction he bought that at. Well, you weren't there though. You did it online.
No,
right?
no, just over the phone with Jomo.
Yeah. I was actually there at the auction house when they sold that, and it got to. I brought a certain amount of cash with me, and I told myself I wasn't going to go beyond how much I had in my pocket.
Right.
And it literally just went like $1,000 over. So,
wow.
And I said, yeah, I was packing that day.
I think Joe was telling me that some other people had bid on it. I guess they were bidding on a bunch of stuff, but I swore he had mentioned Peter Jackson and Benicio del Toro, and I'm like, what? Like, wow.
I think if those guys had bid, you wouldn't have owned it.
Exactly, I know. It's like, man,
that's the one thing about bidding against guys like that.
So
Kirk Hammett.
Kirk Hammett, yes, yeah.
He's another guy that has some deep pockets and buys a lot of stuff.
Is that the fuck you money or fuck me money? I don't know. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, we've had some good times. And like you were saying about
what was it that made you decide to
thing?
sell it, though? I mean, you seem like a massive fan.
Yeah, I mean, I still am. It's still my favorite. Like, you know, I saw part 2 first, and just that dark, like black comedy aspect to it. Just and Jim Cito, which I've got, you know, his coveralls right over here. So I get the camera, yeah, right here. Yeah, it's got the bloody butt cut from Dennis Hopper on it. So I'll probably be buried in that.
Wow.
But yeah, this just experience having them for a minute, you know, and it's life happens, I guess you could say, you know, things, you know, like, you know, family situations and stuff. And it's like, hey, you know, Jomo put it to me like, you know, you took care of him for this long. Now it's time for him to take care of you, I guess, you know, so. You know, it sucks because like my son was really attached to him. Like the pictures I sent you, Wes, like he'd like hug his legs and like he's sitting on his lap, you know, during Christmas and put a little hat on him and everything and a little beard on Nubbins. So he's like, "Where's Uncle Nubbins?" I'm like, "He's going back home with Bubba to Texas," you know.
Where do you know where they're doing the auction? Is it in LA?
It's the Dallas location, I think.
Oh, it's in Dallas. Okay.
Yeah. It's like the only other thing I saw in there was like, oh, there's a Freddy glove on there, and it just happens to be a Dream Warriors, the one I would, you know, my favorite out of the franchise. But it's like, can't fight that fight on that. You know, that's going to go big time. Kind of like I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of like the Marco jacket. I was like, just, you know, punk rock style, leopard print, you know. But I think all 4 of Lost Boys jackets, I think it went for like $118.
Holy shit.
And then the Marco ended up converting it from British pounds. It was about 42,000, but they had another backup, Kiefer Sutherland, and that didn't make the reserve at 30, I think. So I think that one hit like 25, but it didn't sell. So I was like, I knew that Marco jacket was just too pumped that it was going to go crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah, it seems like it's definitely a seller's market right now too. So
it's weird.
I gotta say that those Lost Boys jackets look great in my collection. Anyway.
Oh, hell no! All right.
You got them?
God bless you.
Oh my God. That I gotta see, Sean. We gotta do another show talking about those. Lost Boys is my favorite, man.
I remember the guy when one guy on Facebook when he first got him, and I guess he was the same guy that put him up for auction, or he might have sold them in between that time period. But yeah, those are awesome. And if you had to have something Lost Boys, it's the jackets. You know.
Oh my God, yeah. Wow, that's insane. Now, there's how long has this been up there, Jason? It says 2 days left on this thing. I don't know how long these auctions usually go for.
For proxy bidding, you know, or absentee bidding, you know, you could go ahead and bid now, and then the auction is actually on Saturday. So,
okay. Okay. We have a super chat popping in. He wants to know, is that the only Nubbins
it's a
prop
little
out
different than eBay.
It's the only screen used one. I think that I saw one picture where there was a bust, like, or headshot of another one, like side by side, I guess, when Tom and them were making it. But that's the only full, complete body and everything, because I think Bart Mixon had the molds or something, and I don't know if they've decayed or what, but yeah, that's the only like full size screen used. But I think there was a picture, old Polaroid, that had like two side by side, like, you know, in the process or whatever.
That's crazy. See, I
But yeah,
think,
you were
I think
saying-
Sean right now is thinking, why didn't you just message him, and so he doesn't have to go through all this,
Yeah,
all this
I know,
heritage
I know.
auction and fees, and you know,
You
can
got to
just
pay
skip all that
28% to fucking
that
Joe Mo
yeah,
and
that-
company.
that kicker, yeah, that's always the downfall. And especially, and you got to keep that in mind when you're bidding too, and you get in the over top mode, you know, turn the hat back and like bam, 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 bid, and then you go, oh wait, okay, 20, 21, 25% more, and then oh wait, sales tax too, bam, like it'll eat you up.
Now, when I got the bill for those Lost Boys jackets, about threw up.
Now, Sean, with the Lost Boys jackets, were those a recent buy for you? Is that recent?
Yeah.
Or is that something you've had for quite a while?
It was about like 6 months ago, something like that.
Oh, okay. You haven't done any kind of video on that or anything, have you? Because I don't.
No,
recall.
but that's the other items I was referring to in my Pillar of Souls video.
Okay.
I heard you
I was
say
wondering
that you had
about
something
that.
big coming.
Like, where's the other video?
Okay.
Yeah. So imagine that on top of the Pillar of Souls, my bill I got. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the pillar would have went for more, being the size that it was, but
well, I think the reason the pillar didn't go as high is because of the size. Because people
and
pay shipping
Mm-hmm.
and where are you going to put it? You know, I think large props sometimes go less because of, you know, they're just, what do you do with them? You know, I've seen some really cool things that I'd love to own, but I'm like, where the fuck am I going to put
the
that?
chair from Dream Warriors?
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, there's some big ones out there. And it's like, yeah, that'd be cool, but
on the heritage auctions, you can look at like everything that's sold in the past.
Yeah,
on there, which go back and look. Is there anything that you guys have seen sold in like 2010, something like that? And it was just like, I remember seeing, I think it was one of the Leatherface masks that sold on there back in the day.
Oh, yeah. It was
like 50 times that now what it went for then.
Yeah. A friend of mine down in Texas actually got it. He sold off most of his collection to get that. But I guess Bob Burns had lacquered it with something, and then over time it just looks like beef jerky now. So, but it is what it is. So, I mean, if you want it, you want it. I mean, that is a cool score. But I think they had the Hitchhiker's bag too, and a bracelet, and chair or something too, like a bone chair.
Now, I had a question for you about the Hitchhiker's bag, because I know you had one on yours, but it's not on the one in the auction. Was that just the replica one, or what happened to the bag?
Oh, I separated that like a while back.
Oh, okay.
And so I was trying to keep some peace. So,
so the bag that was on the was on Nubbins was original?
I think so. I don't know if Savini had made another one or not, but I mean, it looked beat up. So, and because it's hard, like I think when you were asking Bill Johnson about the saw that time, and he, we were like, man, it's weird that a lot of the actors or whatever, I mean, thank God for, Bob Elmore knowing, but I think some of them, they just can't remember or whatever. And I think Savini was saying he wanted to, I was like, how can I get them restored? And I was like, spray some stuff on it, whatever. And I think it's like old school technique, once a year. And then Tom Spina was like, well, no, because don't do that, because I wouldn't be able to go back in and doctor it up.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn. And the restoration, I'm like, he's big time. So, you know, you got to pay to play with the restoration too.
Yeah.
Now, Jay, were you bringing him
Jason,
to
we played the
conventions?
video earlier.
Oh, shit. Okay, cool.
No, yeah, we were just talking about the audition clip a little bit earlier. Tell us about how all that came to be and how long of a process that was getting the prop through the airlines. And I think it was Atlanta.
That was fun. We got there, I guess it was like 6 a.m. and going out to Arizona for the 30th anniversary. And like you were saying, Garrett, doing the photo op, you know, like the Breakfast Club. And so we got there, asked for these little skinny.
I started at the beginning though, because it was like,
okay, you talk about
it was like we got to Atlanta, we did the park reply, so it was 5:30 in the morning, so it was all business people getting on the shuttle bus, and we dragged Nubbins on, and they didn't know what to say. They were just they were speechless, and but then we got the wheelchair when we got to the airport, and I had anxiety because everybody was staring. I was firing on all cylinders. I was like, oh my God, we just got to hurry up and get through here. And
I felt kind of bad. We were passing a lot of elderly people and stuff. So I was like, I mean, we didn't ask to skip the line. We thought we were going to be waiting in that, you know, when lines were just backed up, you know.
That was when Atlanta was shut down one of the TSA sections. And so it was super backed up. But everybody wanted to get their picture with him. So TSA just kind of bumped us to the front of the line, took us to the back hall, and brought us up to the scanners at that point. And then that's when the dude took the picture, Nubbins going through the scanner and stuff. And word is, somebody said that guy got fired for posting it.
For doing, yeah. It's like, no, sorry, but I couldn't tell you how many times people were like, is that Walking Dead? Is that Walking Dead? Like, no, if I hear Walking Dead one more time, geez, come on.
Well, that's why I'm surprised that people weren't like freaking out, because I mean, the average folk probably in the airport didn't know what the heck that thing was. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I don't know what could have been going through their head.
They're almost just like, speak the fuck.
Well, we did get past. They were shuttling us through, and we got on the elevator, and there was a old man. This lady was pushing this old guy in a wheelchair. He must have been like 70s, 80s. And he passed us, and as he passed us, he had his phone out taking pictures as he's going by. That was pretty cool.
That's wild, man.
And of course, then we've been on the plane, and he has his own seat. And then they made an announcement. Of course, they told everybody we were going to film a movie, which was not true. But
hey, you had to say something. You know,
at Sky Harbor in Phoenix, they told us to wait. They wanted everybody to get off the plane because the flight attendants and everybody wanted to get their pictures with him. The captain got his picture with him, put the captain's hat on him. And then they even held us up even longer because the next crew taking over that plane wanted their pictures with him. So the people waiting to get on the plane were now late, and they were all up there pissed. But then as soon as we came out through the Skyway there and came out into the by the ticket counter and stuff, man, they just parted like the Red Sea. It was great.
Yeah. You're thinking to yourself, wow, a lot of these, I can't believe all these people that work for the airlines are big Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 fans. Everybody's trying to take
like, hey, it's something. I'm going to get my picture with it. I'll find out what it is later.
That's exactly it. Yeah. All right, we'll figure it out.
How many different conventions did you guys do with the prop? Was there very many, or?
First, like for about 2-3 years, we did like every Mad Monster, Charlotte and Arizona, and then like this banner Astronomicon made for us, and that was pretty cool. That was a really awesome show.
Then we did Cult Classic.
Yeah, Cult Classic in Bastrop, Texas, and that was probably my favorite, getting to go to Mecca, you know.
First one
was Days of Dead, yeah. And but the Cult Classic in Bastrop, and standing in front of that gas station, I'm like, I got down like the Pope on my knees, like, you know, kiss the concrete right there where the pumps were supposed to be, and then getting to go to the I think it's called Mean Eyed Cat Saloon now, which was the Emporium, like you did in your video, Sean. And I mean, just getting to see all that stuff, and I mean, to me, it was just I mean, words can't explain like the feeling and the aura from it. You know,
it was interesting how small the bridge was, and how tiny to go down that sea and stuff. It was so small.
Those guys are driving forever.
Forever, yeah. It's like, come on, man. I'm like, and you can drive that straight backwards, you know. But yeah, the Yuppie head was pretty cool. Like I had from that, like it didn't stink or nothing from all the stuff that, you know, he shot out of it and was filled with. But you know, it's cool that a lot of that stuff survived. You know,
who ended up getting that, if you can say?
I think a guy Dirk in Germany.
Oh, from Germany.
Yeah. He ended up getting it. So
you guys all know each other, like the big collectors that are doing a lot of these biddings.
So
a lot of you guys know each other.
Yeah, there's kind of a circle of
here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, we all kind of sometimes we'll talk ahead of time and go, hey, are you going for this? Because we don't want to fight. You know.
Right. Makes sense, because it's like, why drive the price up against somebody that, you know, totally. Now, I'm from the East Coast, up northeast, so I never saw Nubbins at any conventions around here. I don't know if you ever did a Monster Mania or anything like that.
No, we wanted to get up near the Jersey area, you know, like Chiller and all that, but just, you know, we'd send out the emails or, you know, whatever in our little kind of, I guess, press packet, you know,
right.
And, you know, sometimes we'd get bites, sometimes not. So
now, would you just set up like a little area where people would pay to have a photo op with him? Is that kind of how it worked with you guys going to those things?
Kind of. I mean, we'd have like a table or two tables. So we'd have some, you know, I made some T-shirts like the Nub Club, you know, kind of like Misfit style, and you know, some photos, and people actually would pay for autographs, and I'd put the marker in his hand and just real like childish Nubbins, you know. And,
that's when people will buy anything at a
yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. The
anything
you guys do to preserve Nubbins, because we were talking earlier. Yeah.
That's what like Tom was telling me. Hey, use this, you know, to preserve it, but so you wouldn't be able to go back in and restore it, you know, if you did that. So, you know, if you want it, you know, save a little bit more for restoration. Yeah, I mean, it'd be worth it, though. I mean,
well, actually, if you wanted to restore it, Nora Hewitt would do it too. She's offered to do it.
Now, how does it look in comparison to when you got it? Does it look a lot different from just 2016 now?
I mean, just the hands were already kind of a little brittle and decayed. But it'd just be like bad dandruff, you know, in spots. You know, you'd move them and like, oh, there's a little dust there, you know, but, you know, nothing major. I think like the part on his nose that kind of, you know, grew like, you know, maybe about half an inch or something, you know, something like that, but nothing, you know, no big chunks or anything out of, you know, so it's just, yeah, like Sean was saying, it's that foam latex is not as tough as the other, but I guess
foam latex tends to dry out, and like he said, just like a dust, like just over time, you can do stuff to preserve it or slow the decaying down.
Right.
You can't really stop it. It's inevitable, really. I mean, but at least it would last our lifetimes probably.
Yeah.
But every time I go to clean out one of my cases that I have a big foam piece in, like he said, there's a little dust in there that you know, and you're not even touching the damn thing, and it'll still, you know, over time flake.
I guess the only upside to it is the fact that, you know, Nubbins was kind of decaying and shit anyway. So even if it looks a little bit bad, I mean, I guess it's not awful, right? Like, But I know Wes had brought this up earlier about, and we just kind of touched upon it, about bringing it to conventions and having people do photo ops. I mean, at the end of the day, if someone was to do that, like I see Brendan asked in the chat, Sean, if you happen to have this item, would it be something you'd bring to conventions? Would you just keep it at home? Because I mean, you could easily, you would think, make your money back on something like, you know, just have him laying in that pose and people pay money with their friends to do like a quick photo op in front of like a backdrop. Like, I mean, I and a couple other friends, I would do that and do the Breakfast Club picture or whatever. And, you know, you just wonder at the end of the day if it would become like, I just made all my money back I just spent on this thing if I do these a couple times, whatever. Like, is it something you think you would ever do, or you would keep it in the collection and just keep it at your house?
I would never take it out of the house.
No, I mean, I was trying to do exactly what you're saying, you know, but we would almost kind of like break even, you know, and just roll that into the next convention. And but the Mad Monster Party, which I don't know if I sent you a couple of pictures, had Bill Moseley dress up as Chop Top and, you know, outfit for Bill Johnson, and Caroline Williams was in it, and then we laid them down. And I can't remember what they charged for that, but, you know, basically my part on that was, at the time, you know, not knowing much about the biz or whatever, was like, okay, here's the room, table, blah, 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 and travel and stuff for doing that. But, you know, it could be, you know, a little bit profitable, but, you know, to make that back, it might take a little while.
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, like for me, I would love to be able to share all of my stuff with everybody at some point. Like,
right.
I have grand ideas in my head of someday having something, maybe a museum or or a horror themed restaurant where everything's on display, you know, something. I mean,
yeah,
you know, obviously it's going to be down the road, but I'm just building the collection. And then hopefully at some point I'll have something that is worth a fan to travel to, you know, maybe. I don't know.
I love that idea, man.
Kind of like the gas station. Like, you know, they got cabins out back. You can stay there for the night or whatever and watch, you know, movies and eat there. I mean, their brisket is amazing.
I know. I can't wait to go in March. I'm finally, I mean, I've been to the locations.
Yeah.
But this is the first time I've gone to his, you know, since he took it over. And I've been hearing about the barbecue. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, it's good. Just, you know, bring your own hash because there's no hash there.
It was good, but I think we ended up having it for every single meal the whole weekend.
Oh yeah, they provided like at the convention, like go back for more.
I was tired of it. I didn't.
I had brisket today for lunch, actually.
Oh.
So amazing.
So I'm ready for theirs.
It was good.
Yeah.
I'm partial to short barbecue.
So is there a specific item that you guys have on your wish list that you've been looking for years? You've never seen come up? You don't know if it still exists? Like, this is for you guys.
You know, that's tough, man. I mean, I mean, there's a lot of things I'd love to own that I don't know if they're still out there. But there's nothing I'm actually actively looking for. I mean, this weekend, there's a few things in that auction I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to promote any other thing, but there's another auction happening the same day and there are items I'm interested in. So this could be an expensive weekend for me. So
right.
You know, but you know, one thing that drives me crazy is these auction houses, they don't always do their due diligence, and it makes me nuts because, you know, I start to feel like a lot of them don't care, you know? And like, for example, you know, I don't want to call Heritage out, but I'm going to call Heritage out on an item. They have listed on the auction this weekend, a Bruce Boxleitner Tron helmet.
Right.
Yeah. It's anybody who took 30 seconds and looked at a photo of Bruce Boxleitner's helmet compared to the one they're selling can tell it's a completely different helmet. I mean, I believe it is a screen used Tron helmet, but it is not. It's not his helmet. It's a every program had unique helmets.
Yeah,
and I went through images. I have really good high res images of all the main characters, and I was trying to. It was very close to Ram's helmet, but there were some definite differences. So I messaged them. This was a week and a half ago. And they responded to me saying, yes, we agree. You are correct. This isn't Tron's helmet. We think it's Ram's. And I said, no, it isn't Ram's either. Here's and I provided them photos of Ram's, and they haven't responded to me. They haven't responded back, but yet it's still listed as Bruce Boxleitner Tron's helmet. And motherfuckers, I own Bruce Boxleitner's Tron's helmet.
Yeah, right.
So, I know what the real one looks like. I mean, I know there was more than one, but that's not it. I think it's just a background program. There was various guys,
Yeah.
But it's still legit. It definitely looks real. But I don't want them selling this thing and some asshole out there thinking they have Tron's helmet and it hurting the value of mine, Just like if there was another guy selling a Nubbins and you knew it wasn't real,
Yeah. That's a Trick or Treat version.
Yeah.
Trick or Treat Studios Nubbins.
Did they ever contact you for reference on that?
No.
Looks nothing
I'd sent messages like, hey, heard y'all were, thinking about doing this, whatever. I've got them. I'll provide whatever you want. When I was trying to, raise some restoration funds, I'm like, hey, would y'all maybe want to, donate or at cost? I could buy a couple of y'all, your Nubbins and then do raffles at the conventions or something like that. And no response, not even from NECA. I was like, wow.
Have you ever compared theirs to have you ever had one side by side?
No. I've never seen one in person.
What?
The Nubbins.
Yeah. Wait. And Mad Monster, someone had it, was carrying it around.
Oh, I missed it.
And it looks nothing like Nubbins at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could on Savini's video, you could squeeze it and kind of hollow through it, just like a mask almost, but maybe a little thicker. But
he had better hair than Nubbins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because they've actually hit me up about scanning some of my stuff.
Oh wow,
that's cool, man. I didn't even know they did a Nubbins at all. Is it out or is it coming out?
It's been out.
Is it a full size?
And I don't see them anywhere. I mean, it might have been a small run. I don't know.
Was it like a full size, life size version?
Yeah, I think it came folded up in a box. So you had to let them kind of pop out.
Wow, I had never even
but
that was the thing.
That must have been crazy.
That's probably 3 years ago.
I feel bad, Wes. I think you got a bad delay because I feel like we keep talking over you.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he has a delay.
I'm gonna refresh it again.
There he goes.
Hang on a second.
He's fresh again. But I think the one piece that I would say the chainsaw would be the piece I can think of right off the bat that I always wanted, because my best friend passed away 3 years ago, and before I won that chainsaw or got the catalog in the mail before social media, whatever, and he was like, what's the one thing, since you're a big chainsaw fan, what'd you want? And we kind of both way your best friend would be finish sentences or say the same thing at the same time, like Saw from Part 3. And I was like, yep, and then 2 weeks later I get the catalog and flipping through, okay, Jurassic Park, oh god, fuck, I gotta sell all my V shit. But, and the coolest thing, I wanted to hold on to it, but Robert Englund's V uniform from Final Battle, it still had makeup on the hand, underneath the gauntlet from where they peeled his hand up. And his wife hit me up on Facebook and was like, heard you had his uniform. Would you be interested in selling it to me, so I could buy it back for him? And I'm like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. She's like, what are you asking? I'm like, I'll sell it for what I paid, you know, 3,500, boom, you know. And
Wow.
he sent me like 7 autograph pictures, a doodle, you know, Freddie doodle, some B photos, and like, man, that was awesome, you know.
That's cool.
That is
I didn't know that.
very cool.
I was like, glad I could get it back to you, sir. But that,
Yeah.
that was,
So, is there, Jason? Is there anything else like that you have that you're thinking about parting with? Are you starting to sell off your stuff, or is it just specific things that you're like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna part with this now?
just I guess. I mean, I can't keep on the same thing, you know, for too long. But like I started out with the V collection and had like, you know, every style uniform, a little half of a shuttle miniature, a really cool breakdown rifle. So it was like a long shock trooper rifle, and then you could take the scope off, the butt off, and then the nose off, and then it'd be the little pistol. And sold all that stuff off to get the chainsaw. And then I was like, you know, I bought some other like small chainsaw pieces, and then got a hold of Savini, and then like, okay, I'll be the part 2 guy or chainsaw franchise, whatever. And that's when I like sold off that Monster Squad Dracula cape, you know, the Night of the Creep slugs, the Jed bust, you know, to Sean, and God, what else? I mean, I at least wanted one piece from every cool movie I grew up with, kind of, you know. So, but then I went, you know, totally chainsaw, and now I'm like, okay, I really don't need any of it, I guess, you know, that part of your life, you know. And it's like, well, I'll just keep a few things now instead of trying to have a, you know, huge, you know, collection, just, you know, pieces that really mean more, you know, than a plethora.
Yeah,
but,
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy for you, Sean. I mean, you've done a killer job, and, you know, saving a lot of pieces and stuff.
Now,
Real quick,
obviously,
you know,
sorry, Wes, go ahead.
hopefully I'm not too delayed now, but Sean, you do all these conventions and stuff. Have you ever thought about doing, like with Horror Hound or something, doing like a weekend showcase of some of your collection as like a special thing, maybe?
You know, when we did the Halloween conventions, the 25th, 30th, 35th, we didn't do it for the 40th, but I was bringing all my Halloween props, and I was having some other collectors display a few things. It's just so nerve-wracking, man. I'm sure it was for you too, Jason, like having all this rare, fragile shit out in the open, and I'm running around like a nut working, hoping,
on top of that, right?
Yeah, hoping that stuff is safe. You know, obviously I hired security to stand in there at all times, and, you know, but dude, just moving it from the truck to the convention, and you know, you're stressing so hard. You know, like if I had a permanent place for it, you know, like Rich Carell's doing right now with Icons of Darkness, or, you know, like a Planet Hollywood vibe, or, you know, Zach Baggins' Haunted Museum or something like that. Yeah, that would be cool. And, you know, but still, even then you're stressing about what if somebody broke in and stole it, or what if, you know, or
or overnight at the convention, you know, it's like, oh, we got guards there, whatever, something, security. It's like, okay.
No, dude, I tell you, I paid for 24 hours personal security to watch that shit.
Wow.
So, I mean, but it's just, it's stressful, man. And then, you know, especially if you're taking it out of state, you know, something like the chainsaw, it's not as big a deal because you ain't gonna, I mean, it's hard to fuck one of those things up. But, you know, they're heavy duty. But latex or foam latex, I mean, it's like that Pillar of Souls. It's
I couldn't tell, like, you know, the parts that were, I think there was a part on Pinhead or something that,
well, there's the outside of it is coated with, it's not, I thought it was latex, but a effects buddy of mine came over the other day and he told me what the material was. It's but it's basically a center block of wood, you know, and then foam filled. The outside is this like material that's similar to a thick latex. So, you know, there's areas where maybe that I'm saying latex, but I forgot what he said it was. But there's areas that might have been thinner that have flaked, and then underneath that it's the foam, just like on Nubbins' hands and everything, and then it starts to, you know. So you got a whole giant thing like that, you know. I mean, it's you bumping into the wrong thing and it tears, and it, you know.
I mean, that thing looks humongous.
7 feet tall.
Wow.
Yeah. Getting that in the house was not fun, as you saw in the video if you watched it.
I mean, it's kind of
the guy that delivered it. How did that work out too?
What was that, Wes?
The delivery on that wasn't easy, I don't think either, right?
Oh, dude, I've documented it.
Man, I would have been livid too, man. Like,
it's wild. And another question for both of you, because again, I don't, you know, these big wig auctions are totally out of my league. So, I mean, Jason, so if someone like you who's kind of slimming down a little bit, just kind of keeping, you know, some of your bigger pieces that you mean the most to you, having a collector mindset, are you going to be kind of always creeping around on these auction sites, kind of, you know, maybe getting more stuff, or are you kind of pretty good now?
Yeah, one thing,
I'm sure it's probably going to be hard to just kind of stop, right?
One thing I am paying on now is the Lisa doll from Weird Science.
Ooh,
that's my favorite non-horror movie, like comedy, or I don't know, it might be my favorite movie overall. But speaking of Weird Science, when I went up to buy the Yuppie bust and the Chop Top plate, I went to that Steel City Con, and you know, okay, there's Kelly LeBrock, Mark Anthony Hall, and Ian Mitchell Smith, and you know, got their autographs and stuff. And all right, cool, awesome. You know, it was like, man, dream come true. And then we go back. Me and my friends go back to the hotel, and here comes Ian Mitchell Smith to the bar later. Like, hey man, what's going on? He's like, hey, can I sit with y'all? Okay. Hey, okay, get him a beer. All right, so we're sitting there drinking with him. We go outside to smoke, and then, you know, a couple minutes go by, and then door opens, and like, look, it's Anthony Michael and Kelly LeBrock. And then I'm standing there, like, all right, this is cool. This is cool. It's like the candy bar, but not. And I get a tap, and she's like, excuse me, can I borrow your lighter? And I'm like, yes, ma'am. And she goes, don't call me mom. And I'm like, sorry, it's a Southern thing. You know, I was like, you know, raised up right. And then hands it back. Okay. And then I'm like, oh, she's like, would you like to hit this? And yes, ma'am. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean. And then, you know, just like in the movie. And then I end up talking to Anthony Michael Hall, and he starts talking about Big Pharma and like some like deep shit. And I'm like, I mean, he didn't ask for the keys, but you know, but that was
Pharma dies tonight.
That story is like, that's my favorite of all time. I mean, so cool.
Yeah, I love that movie as well. And
did you see when her leather jacket went on sale not too long ago?
Wow.
Yeah, the one with the studs and everything. Yeah. I don't think it's sold. Or,
I don't remember if it did.
I think
or
they
not.
started it out at like 40 or something. Like, that's insane, because I think it was the designer person that was trying to auction it. So
wow, that jacket's killer.
And
now,
they
Sean,
auctioned out
a lot of
the door frame too, that, you know, foam door frame when shit busted out, and like,
that's
like,
another, like, where do you put that? Where do you put that? You know, how do you display a fucking door frame?
Just take out, you know, your display room.
It's gonna be your closet door.
Like,
yeah,
clear stuff, you know, in the middle of them, you know, you can't actually go through it. But
I remember years ago, a guy, I don't know if it was the actual homeowner, but somebody obtained the actual Amityville windows from the real house.
I think I saw something online about that too. Yeah.
And I remember looking at those thinking that would be the dopest thing to own, but I mean, the dude is standing there in the photo
Like,
with his
holding
hand on, like,
both,
dude, there,
yeah.
and there's two of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, where would you put? I mean, my thought went to, can I
gotta have
knock
a
the
home
wall out?
makeover.
Yeah, put them in my house. But it's like, that's so cool, so iconic.
Right.
But yeah,
Yes.
where do you put them?
I mean, like you said, that's a cool idea there. You know, I mean,
the guy that bought the thing from the truck, the Joker face on the front of the truck from Maximum Overdrive.
Oh, the Maximum Overdrive thing. Like, yeah, that guy. Does he still take it around? Do you know of Sean?
I haven't seen him lately, but he was all over the place for a while.
Yeah, yeah. The Green Goblin
cool.
face, yeah.
And I think Roy, the guy who owns the gas station, just found the diesel truck too. I think.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
yeah.
And God bless him. Then gets hit with a Henkel.
Which that's really bummed
insane.
him out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that it sucks about this stuff. You're doing. I understand that there's a business aspect to it, and there's people that own the shit and this and that. But when you're celebrating something, and you're preserving it, and you're elevating it, it's so
making
shitty
them more money
for the owner, the people that those people to come after him. At the they should have said, hey, let's try to work something out here together.
Yeah, he was willing to do that. Like, they wanted everything like up front. He's like, well, let me make back my initial, deposit or investment, whatever, on the, licensing, and then, something like that. And then like, nope, that now. Like,
I mean, they're trying the things I heard they're going after him for are just ridiculous. Like, like having the, like, there was something down to even having like the same bench out in front of the
same bench color
station.
or We Slaughter on the sign or what, they were nitpicking. Yeah. You can't make it look like the film. Like,
why not? Why can't you? It's like if you bought a car that was famous in a movie and you painted it the same as the one in the movie, can you be sued? I mean,
right. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't get that, man. It's like you're saying, it's celebrating it. It's giving them more attention. I mean, more revenue too. It's like people want to go buy the movie, rent the movie, whatever,
And it also makes you think, well, where does that end? Could they then go after, say, like a Planet Hollywood, where you have our movie prop on display and you're profiting from it? Where does that end? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of the Nubbins stuff we did, it was current picture, which I heard that was kind of a way, don't use any screenshots. I mean, if you can, or you're, altering it enough, stuff like that.
And show them Nubbins also.
Believe me, I've been waiting for these
one bottle left of Nubbins hot sauce.
Oh wow!
I've been waiting for the how a big thing now at the horror cons are the costume photo ops.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the first studio to come do a cease and desist on that shit. Which, I mean, it could happen. I mean, if you're dressing up like the character and profiting from it, they could come after you. You know, because I guarantee you, if Hemsworth was dressing up as Thor at a Comic-Con, Marvel would be contacting them.
Yeah,
but
that's a good point.
It hasn't happened yet. But I'm not saying I think that's
because I did about 3 or 4 with RA, and I had a whole replica outfit made and stuff, and he wore that and then brought the saw, and like that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I just hope that shit doesn't happen.
No.
But I bet you it will. It's gonna eventually.
Yeah, it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as they see that, if it works with Roy, stuff, then they'll.
Oh, all the other companies.
We can get away with this and do this, and then it'll start.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've been wondering, I'm friends with the guy that bought the Silence of the Lambs house, the Buffalo Bills house.
Yeah.
And, are they, I mean, that's honestly, of all my location videos, that's the one that I got fucked on copyright wise. So they obviously were coming after me for that. So You know, what happens to him if he, you know, at some point they tell him he can't do that? You know, I don't know.
Can't advertise to stay at the house.
Yeah. Where does it end? You know?
All right.
If they think it's worth their time to go after it, I guess.
Are you monetizing this video right now? Because I see a Christmas Vacation poster back there, and National Lampoon would like a cut.
Wait.
I know, you know, like you said, where does it end?
Kai,
Cobra Kai gi over there, like like right now, like the Cobra Kai thing is they're gonna come right after it for sure.
Oh yeah, nah, William's
right.
cool, man. We'll have Coors Banquet with him, and we'll be all right.
Hell yeah. But yeah, you're right. Where does it end? And another question I had for you guys, and especially Sean, because I know, like he said, I've seen his stuff in videos. Now, owning a lot of these original things from movies, like, is there a lot of upkeep for that, or are they pretty controlled in the environment they're in, where you can just kind of leave them alone, or do you have to kind of run through monthly and do anything to these items?
No, I mean, you know, that I've had like Jason was talking about sending stuff to Tom Spina for restoration and preservation, which is not cheap.
No, Nubbins is starting out, I think, around 6 or 7.
Yeah, yeah, if I can imagine. So I mean, both of my killer clown heads have been to him. My Darkman mask should probably go to him. But yeah, I mean, as far otherwise, if you've got it in a cool, you know, room away from fluorescent light and any sunlight, that's the best way to preserve all that stuff. You know, is cold. You know, what I mean, a coldest room you can possibly. If you have I have a room in my house that is like an ice box, and that's where the stuff like that is for sure. You know, I actually, my entertainment room is upstairs. Where if you've seen any of my videos, that's where like my pinball machines are and everything.
Yeah. Still I
purposely don't put anything latex or foam up there because that room gets hot in the summer. Yeah. So.
But yeah,
that's like Arcade One Up needs to make a Kiss pinball, man.
I'll lay them right across the top.
That's right. I think it probably would look really good. That I see the Funhouse mask back there. Now, is that an original or no?
No, that's a fan.
I was going to ask him being up there. I'm like, how does that? He can just sit there and stay and not.
No, that's a replica a guy made and sent me. It's crazy thick. It's super thick. The real one is in a case in the cool room. So.
Now, you know what's funny is I love that look of that Frankenstein monster-esque mask. I always have. And I always wondered, like, that would be something like even if Trick or Treat Studios, it doesn't seem like a difficult mask to make, like as far as the way it looks. I'm like, that would be something that I would, you know, some kind of replica I would mind owning because it's a little bit unique. And I'm surprised they haven't done anything like that.
Well, it might be because, it was an actual mask from a mask company. It was a company called Savage Eye. They were around in the 70s and 80s. And I guess they took the mask and they just altered it a little bit, added some stitching to it, and just kind of touched it up a little bit. It's a little bit because I own 2 original Savage Eye masks. So I have the store-bought version, then I have the one from the movie. So maybe they can't. I don't know who ran Savage Eye. Maybe they can't get a hold of who the licensee is. I mean, obviously, Universal owns Funhouse, but I don't know if they can allow them to sell something that was previously being sold. You know, I don't know how that works copyright wise.
So, like, kind of like if something,
kind of like the Captain Kirk mask.
Yeah, like some of the licensing or whatever the rights goes into limbo and nobody yet, you know, trying to trace it down and all that.
Well, that's what happened with like Trick or Treat and Fright Night 2. They didn't know for years who owned them. So,
Speaking of that, I've never seen another one, but I mean they're probably out there. But one day I looked on eBay, just having to go, okay. Trick or Treat, Sammy Kerr, and found Tony Fields.
Wow.
So a
That's
Sammy
awesome.
Kerr autograph. Like, I'm like, dude, this is like
I've never
so
seen one.
freaking awesome.
I've never seen one. Because he didn't die. He died not long after that film.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was a solid gold dancer.
Yeah. And he's also in the Beat It video.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
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 So
the only
Wes-
other autograph like that has been, I think, Murray Hamilton, the mayor. I don't know why. I always like the either obscure or just weird or, we think is cool kind of character, But yeah, I had like one Murray Hamilton, and I ended up selling that one.
The guy that played the killer in Slaughter High. I mean, he died right after the movie, pretty much.
Oh shit! Okay,
I can't remember his name, and also the guy that was the killer in Popcorn, the movie.
Oh yeah,
he passed away not long after that. So there's no.
Wow.
I've never seen an autographed photo of either of those guys, of those characters, and ever.
So it'd probably have to be like a letter envelope, a check, or something.
It's kind of like I don't know if Brandon Lee ever really signed anything from The Crow. I mean, he died.
Oh,
I mean, he may have signed something for like a script page, or who knows? But
something
while the movie was being made. But I don't, or maybe a comic book,
cut card, whatever.
Yeah, well, there's stuff like that, but I don't think there's There's obviously no Crow merchandise, even posters or anything ever signed by him.
Right.
He died before it came out. So
yeah.
But yeah, Wes is having tech issues now too, so he's out. But so what I want to say, I'm glad you all are here. Actually, this has been really good. I just love listening to like you guys talk and.
Well, no, I love listening to you guys, like Sean and his thing, and then you and Wes. I mean, like you said, that last broadcast was amazing. I was rolling on the floor.
Oh, you talking to me with the last
round table?
That mess.
Yes, Mr. Dimebag Daryl, whatever. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm glad we can keep.
I wanted to get like a beard and come on, like stroking it like that.
That would have been funny. Yeah, that was a wild stream. That's what happens when you just throw the link out there and say whoever wants to pop on can. You never know who you're gonna get.
I was laughing my ass off with that. It was so funny.
So, I mean, I love, this kind of talk because, like, again, it's a different part of the community that, I don't really talk about much. So it's awesome to have you guys on here. I want to kind of talk to each just kind of one more thing before we wrap it up. Obviously, I'll start with Sean. Thank you for popping on, dude. Appreciate that. Sorry, it was kind of last minute, just got out of the shower type of deal, but it's always cool having you.
Hey, Sean saved it, man.
I definitely want to check out that Lost Boys video whenever that drops, but maybe we can work on trying to get you back on here to talk about those jackets after your video drops. Is that cool?
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be awesome. Man, and he tries on each one,
Dude, I don't know how. Do you have them in? Do you have them in like a case, or are they hanging on like a?
No, they're actually still in the
shipping box, or
no, they put them in like coat bags.
Bags, yeah,
okay. Yeah. I bought half bust mannequins for all four of them. I know where I'm putting them. I just haven't had the chance to put them there yet.
Or upside down from your ceiling. Upside down, man.
It doesn't work with jackets, especially trench coat.
Yeah.
Now, would it be possible on a stream to like hold one up by a hanger? Like, I'm just curious.
I could hold one up right now.
Marco.
Polo. Okay, hold on.
You guys are going to see it here first.
Let's get Marco in it.
The video hasn't even dropped yet, and we're going to talk, and we're going to see
sneak peek,
original Lost Boys
Damn, baby, fuck. This is a sneak peek.
Sneak peek for sure. So this is a teaser to check out his video that's popping very soon, talking about the Lost Boys jackets he just acquired, because I'm jealous as hell about it. And I know Jason seems like he is too.
Yeah. Somehow Lost Boys gets in there, and man,
it just works, it's got that, like you said, it's rock and roll, man. It's edgy. It's
my friend that I was talking about that passed away a couple years ago, my best friend, he always told me Fright Night sucks, man. I'm like, what? We're best friends, dude. Everything's like same sense of humor, everything, same movies, shows, all that, but Fright Night sucks. And I'm like, dude, come on. So every Christmas I would buy him a copy of Fright Night on something.
Oh my God.
And then luckily before it wasn't his deathbed, but he told me probably a couple months before I didn't speak to him for a few months after that. He died, and he said, "I actually do like Fright Night. I was just fucking with you. Pulled a Dumb and Dumber on me. Like I tricked you all these years, but I love Fright Night."
Man.
Okay,
Well,
I'm not pulling them all out, but
no, don't do
that. Teaser for sure.
Uh-oh.
That's Billy Wirth.
That's Billy Wirth. I can see the leather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got Brookie over there. Brooke.
Yep. They're trying to get the
baby.
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, I see the safety pins. That must be David, right?
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah,
See
there's
big
little
buttons. Yeah.
Okay. Piece of the creme de la creme.
Oh man, this is unreal.
I'm getting my own screen, huh?
Hey, yeah, definitely for that, man. That is sick. God, and
what's interesting too, like
wear it, dude.
What size is that for him at that time? Is that a small?
Tiny. He's tiny.
Oh, that would fit, Sean.
What's that?
That would fit really well.
I put it on, but it's like
is Winter your guy, Sean, or no?
Yeah. I talked to him about it. He's tight with the costume designer who made these.
Okay.
So I took detailed photos and sent them to him to send to her too, just because I had questions. I want to make sure, they're paying a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Damn. Yeah, I need to get a good replica of that. Damn.
You know what? It's funny. I'm going to contact him after this because I have a friend who is actually, if you go back into my video log and you type in like Born to Be Rad Lost Boys, there's a pro wrestler, Vincent. I don't know if anybody knows him. He's known as like the king of horror around the pro wrestling scene. And he's a good friend of mine.
I think I might have just saw some of him. I can't picture it right now.
So he has quite a pretty cool collection. And he was doing the Lost Boys replicas a couple of years ago of all the jackets. He did all the work, and he was sending me a list of like, hey, here's the tapestries that I need, and he was going to make me a Marco coat. So I was on eBay trying to get all these patches and tapestries, and he had the list of everything you needed, and I couldn't find some of them. So he still probably has a bucket of the ones maybe that I had sent him like many, many years ago, but he had all them displayed in his movie room.
Oh, wow.
And I'm still to this day, even when he was on my show, I'm like, dude, if you can do me one thing, it's make me one of those jackets someday. Just the Marco.
There's a guy that makes a really good replica Marco jacket, I think, like on Etsy or something.
Oh, really? There is an Etsy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check
so.
it out.
Yeah. I was comparing how good they were. I was looking at all the
right. I think I saw a couple, and I'm like, oh, the neck band doesn't have the same kind of design. Slightly.
There are differences. Like
that one little number patch. One's closer to the Matador, and then Yeah.
And you notice that too. You're because as I was trying to screen match Marco's to the movie, and I'm like, wait, this ain't matching up, and I was getting a little nervous until the that jacket matches the one where he's hanging upside down.
That's the upside down one, or is that's
the upside down one? Because if you look in that scene,
it's got the cut in the back.
The patch moved, huh?
Yeah, that one has the
cut in the back. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So because they had sold all four in one. I think the one that had them all was didn't have the cut in the back, and was the number was a little bit over where it was supposed to be, I think, but you bought all four at the same time?
Yeah. Are you talking about the one that just sold recently?
Yeah.
That's a different one, yeah.
Because I thought the one
that one, but here's the thing. There's different. There's the hanging upside down one.
Yeah.
There was also I guess ones that they had rigged for flying, but
Okay.
I don't know how, if maybe
Right.
when they were hanging, maybe they had harnesses when they were hanging
Pulling it
from
through
the,
it. Yeah.
from the, I don't know for sure. I just know
Oh,
that
wow.
that one. And so I think that one, the David one,
Yeah.
the David one has holes on the sides where I think there was at least some sort of harness or rig.
Okay.
And the back of the Billy Worth one is totally cut up the back.
All right.
So they seem to think that I got in touch with the guy that sold them, who sold them through Prop Store. So
Okay.
I'm going to actually bring him in the video and try to bring him in the video to talk about where he got them all and everything. So,
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
First
I
found
wanna-
them. Yeah.
I want to source them out and, I want to hear the stories of how getting all 4 of those was quite an accomplishment,
Right.
and
Yeah,
and me being able to buy them all at once, can you imagine the time you'd spend trying to find all 4?
4 of them. My God, even though there were multiples, you might not ever find them.
Yeah, because I think they said there was about 3
or 4, something like that.
of
Yeah.
each one. Yeah, because there was the motorcycle stunt guys had one. Alex had one. They had the hanging one.
I can't remember which one with that last jacket that sold the Kiefer had the wig and earring and pants.
I'm not real. That's another thing. They said in in the description that it was Kiefer's wig that he came back for reshoots.
Yeah, he had cut his hair something. Yeah.
I don't think. I think that was a stuntman's wig. I don't think that was Kiefer's wig.
Because I remember back when I won the Monster Squad cape, on the same page, it's got feet that I guess were hanging you could buy, and then the wig by itself.
Yeah.
So
I wanted those feet.
Really?
What I did get Laddie and Max's teeth on that last auction.
Okay. That's cool to have something of them, Yeah.
Yeah.
What places are you guys going to do these? Like, what are the big ones? Heritage, Prop Store? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it used to be Profiles in History, and they merged with Heritage. So Profiles in History is done now, right?
As far as I know, yeah, that's what Joe told me last. Yeah, they just got together and fucks with each other. I don't know.
So Heritage, Prop Store. There's Julian's. There's
I haven't done Julian's in a while. I did it when I first started.
Hanlon's a big one.
Hanlon's, yeah.
So there's a lot of different auction houses. But again, anybody who's going to buy anything, I highly recommend doing your research beforehand, because I've uncovered so many things that were like, dude, and go on to the prop pages on like Facebook where the prop collectors are talking, and you'll find certain nerds of certain franchises that'll go, no, that's not real, this is why, and they'll point things out. I tried to do that too. I pointed out in that last Prop Store auction that Scream mask they were selling from the TV series. Yeah. It was clearly the store-bought one. You could tell that the buckles on the top were molded into the plastic, where the real one was separate pieces. And I pointed that out, but that's the thing, man. You have to understand, these prop places that are selling these, if they find out that shit ain't real, they ain't making that profit. So they may want to just turn a blind eye,
Now, has it become a process? Like, let's say you find a couple things that are on auction that you're like, I'm interested in this, and it's going to run out in a couple days. Do you find time to sit down and do your research and due diligence on the item before that auction is ready to go?
You have to.
Somewhat. Yeah. Like when we were helping Sean out with the Part 2 chainsaw, and it's like, I can't find it, don't see it, and then this one weird shot of Bubba and Lefty.
Oh yeah,
we could see the bar was flipped upside down, and you could see the little rivet holes or whatever down it, and it was like, there we go.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and it was like almost down to a couple of days maybe before the auction. So it was like I mean, that's
like, your
the fun
research
part.
has to be pretty in depth, though. Like, you must have to watch the movie, pause it, grab screenshots.
Yeah, that's the
from,
fun part. I
you know,
miss AD
Google or
repeat.
whatever. Like, there's a big time that goes into that, because, you know, when you're going to spend that kind of money, you need to make sure that you've scrolled that thing to make sure that it's the real deal, you know? But yeah, Sean, I definitely want to maybe come back and do more of the Lost Boys things. I can't wait for that video. And Jay, before we leave, I just want you to kind of just say whatever you need to say about Nubbins. Plug it, let everybody know where it's going. I know that's eating away at Sean right now. Just, you know, but hopefully,
hey man, if you know, if I may, you know, who knows?
Put it this way, I would love
for
for you to get it, to be honest. Like, I would, because
even
you know
some friendly
bids
would be appreciated.
Yeah, you know, I mean, in my head, like I said, there's a lot of things going down this weekend that I would throw some money at. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do. But yeah, I mean, it depends, you know. I mean, you know, if it was I hate to say it to you, Jay, but you know, if it goes low enough, I'm definitely in.
But, hey, that's anything, man. That's with anything. Yeah, I totally get
you know. But if it starts going crazy, you know, I mean, I as much as I'd love to have it, I've been going, as you can tell, I've been going a little nuts lately, so I need to reel it in a little bit.
It happens. Yeah. You know, little spurts, you know.
Yeah, because I did get other things in that other auction recently as well that nobody knows I bought. So,
yeah.
No, that's great, man. So, Jay, if you want to just kind of plug it real quick before we sign off, because I got Wes that's gonna take it down once we're done, because he was kind of moderating the thing. So, just plug it and let everybody know where to go and what they need to do.
Yeah, it's going to be this Saturday, the 17th. Heritage Auctions, I guess heritageauctions.com should pull it up, and you know, he is like a, you know, part of the family. You know, you know, with my son and everything, he's become part of the family, and it's like, he's like, you know, he's got to find a new home, you know, retirement home, you know, somebody that can really love him, you know, and give him the time and, you know, appreciation. And you can actually go on their website now and do pre-bidding, or if you know, got something else to do Saturday, you can make an absentee bid. And, you know, it's time for, you know, Nubbins to mosey on into the sunset somewhere else, you know, and, you know, it would really help out too. So
since
he's so recognizable.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows who he is.
I was gonna say, since it's been announced, has any collectors contacted you and said they're going after
actually,
it?
Surprisingly, no, you know, PMs or DMs or whatever. Like, wow. So,
well, I think they know it's now in someone else's hands. Like, talking to you isn't going to help anything. You know, at this point, they have to bid on it.
I'll tell them, look out for this bidding number.
I think a lot of people were. I think people were more shocked that he was selling things.
Yeah,
and so they were not believing it at first. They thought it was BS.
Everybody thought I was like faking. Like, dude, what? Like, you know, in the post or whatever, and like, man, no, he ain't selling it, man. That's bullshit. You know, and then like, dude, selling it? Like, yeah, man, it's, you know, it's time.
I mean, honestly, like, I hope you get, you know, what you're looking for, and I hope you both kind of win in the situation, because you know, you could have made it a lot easier if you would have probably just DM'd Clark, man, over there, but you know,
that's gonna beat me. So
it is.
You know,
like, it is. We like to stir the pot over here, but anyway, guys, thank you guys.
Now, if Sean ever wants to sell his clown, he knows.
Oh, the poltergeist clown.
The poltergeist clown?
Yeah, if you ever want to. I mean, I know you told me before you had an offer for it, but the other one that went through the roof.
Yeah.
Hey, now you know where you kind of lie now on the clown.
Well, see, like, you and me are brothers in Saw. Me and Baggins are brothers in Clown.
Clowns.
I went over. We met, and he kind of gave me a little VIP tour at his place in Vegas, and cool guy. I'd never met him before. Really nice guy. bad haircut, but it was cool.
I got the Kirk Hammett hair here, so.
Oh my God, I love it.
No, people
he'll
always
get
joke that we look alike, so I was like,
okay,
dude, I had that.
You don't have the glasses.
Yeah, I just need the glasses, and then
yeah,
I love it. But yeah, guys, thank you guys both so much for popping on here. I appreciate it as always. Again, best of luck to both of you this weekend, because I know for both ends it's a big weekend coming up for you guys when it comes to this prop collecting. So
yeah.
Guys, yeah, I can't thank you enough, Jason, for contacting us and being like, hey, let's do this. That's awesome. I love it.
Oh, and one thing, the Vinegar Syndrome release on the 4K. They did not port everything over.
Uh-oh. What do you got?
So it's like, I think their bonus disc says extensive photo stills, posters, blah, 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 and it's just the black and white gallery and the color gallery from the Screen Factory, and then every other photo gallery, behind the scenes photo gallery, poster stills and lobby cards, and then my feature gallery of Nubbins and stuff. It's not on there, so they might have to make a remake the third disc for everybody, and then they can add all this new footage too.
See, that's exclusive news.
I actually did something for that too that didn't make it on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, they contacted me about using my Horrors Hallowed Grounds for it, and I said, yeah, absolutely, no problem. And then I, just for fun, because I had shot a little collection video of the 2 chainsaws.
Okay, right.
But for whatever reason, there was something on the lens of the camera that kind of made, if you watch that video, it just looks a little soft. It looks a little weird. Okay,
I'll have to rewatch it. I mean, I watched it a few times and it looked good. I mean,
yeah. Well, I shot another one. It looked so much better, and it was way better. And I shot it exclusively for them and sent it to them. And they told me that their lawyers, whatever, MGM's lawyers, wouldn't clear it. So I think it's because I featured
footage.
I think it's because I featured both chainsaws, and they, I think they were getting weird about part 3. So
that's like it's your toys now, So they, like you're saying, what do they have to say about it, But
dude, believe me, having worked with Scream Factory for all these years, you hear the craziest shit that these studios will tell them they can and can't do. It's not them. Believe me, Vinegar Syndrome, Scream Factory would put everything on there if they could. It's all the pencil pushers at the studios, It's
wild. That's craziness. So, I mean, I guess you're saying to the collectors out there, don't get rid of your Scream Factory Texas Chainsaw 2 quite yet.
No.
Okay, well that's
I mean,
great.
I love the new interviews and stuff on there, but it should have got the big metal, Beastmaster box, style. That's what it should have got.
There you go.
Have both, baby.
Because I was disappointed in the slip, case, and
there.
it needed that Beastmaster Roadhouse treatment.
Dude, the dude designs needed to get on that for sure. They're killing it with their artwork, so for sure. But yeah, so guys, you heard a lot of things. So again, keep your eyes open for that Lost Boys video that Sean's doing. Keep your eyes open on the auction that Jason's doing over there. He gave us the exclusive on the Texas Chainsaw Vinegar Syndrome 4K. Don't get rid of your Screen Factory just yet. And guys, thank you one more time for popping in here. Always a pleasure. We'll have to do it again. I'm curious to see, Jason, reach out to me and let me know how it goes on Saturday once it's all.
Yeah, brother, definitely will do, man.
I'm hoping next time I have Sean on with the Lost Boys, Nubbins is hanging out in the back.
Yeah, he's just in the background, so like kind of subtle, so you don't notice him right off the bat,
or a video of him, and you see him scrolling by with him laying on the pinball machine or whatever. I love it. But thank you, chat. Sorry what happened with Wes. He had some tech issues. I guess the storm.
Yeah, I did too. Sorry about the delay.
He couldn't get to, I couldn't get to the chat because he's basically moderating this thing, so everything's coming from his end. So we're gonna head out of here now, and thank you guys again, chat. Thank you guys for watching this thing. I hope you got a lot of good information. These guys are always full of it, so I love listening to their stories.
Full of it, yeah. We are always full of it.
We're a separate breed, yeah.
like you guys, like when Sean talks, like I could listen to all these stories. You know what else? Like even like Felcher, like I just like to sit back and like just listen to him go.
He's not in our category. Slippy, come on, Slippy. No, I'm
Slippy.
Like just to hear all these things, from that, from a different end of the spectrum, I love it. But
and
yeah,
just
guys.
and
So
one last plug.
Yeah,
I got a new Horror's Hallowed Grounds episode dropping on Christmas Day as my gift to the horror world. Anyway,
I love it. I can't wait to see it.
I can imagine what episode it might be.
I think it's gonna have to do with Christmas, guys. So make sure you check it out for sure. Thank you guys again. This is Garrett at Born to Be Rad, and like always, stay rad.
Give us the thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do.
I want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that now.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
Hey everyone, it's Oak Early Jaws. Since spooky season is official, it's time to bring on the turkey, motherfucker. Time to bring on November. And here in the month of November, we got some great shirts for you. We got Faces of Death, Part 2. We got Creepy Stories to Tell in Kentucky. The Colonel Would Approve. We also got DEADPIT.com. We got DEADPIT Radio with the little fucking DEADPIT dude on there. We got It Never Ends, a Halloween spoof parody of the new movie. We got It at Night. We got the Rad Pack, Uncle Rad himself. It just gets better and better. So go on and get you some shirts over at Team Public. It just gets better and better, boss.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DeadPit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.